Okay, Bullseye testing, and this is just a pressure test load on this. I think I've got 4 rounds at 9.6 grains. These should be better than probably 1,250 feet a second. Should be over 600 foot-pounds. So this technically would be a plus P plus load since it is above the 23,000. I'm just going to run a few rounds and see how it does. I'm not concerned that it'll do any harm to the pistol, but anyhow, we're just going to see what it ends up doing. Oh wow, we didn't get a read. That was spicy in recoil. Primers could be worse. They're definitely it's definitely a plus P beyond a doubt. Let's see if we can get actual velocity going here. Yeah, 1319 was the velocity on that. That was 714 foot-pounds. In this case, that primer may have post-holed. I can't really tell. Looks like it pierced. So definite pressure signs. That's hotter than what we'd normally want to run. Velocity on the last one gave us an erroneous reading of 408 feet a second. So the only real good velocity we had was 1319 at 714 pounds. So that's 45 super pressure. So that's not really what we're wanting to do with the pistol setup and just standard. Let's go ahead and run one more round. Yeah. 1303. Our primers all look too much overpressure for Bullseye powder. Velocities, that last one was 697 foot-pounds. That was 185 grain. So our average velocity for the 4 rounds that we fired, with only 3 of them reading, was 1303. So, well, actually that was the last one, was 1303. Average velocity would have been, well, it's going to be right in the 1300 because we'd take out that 408. That's erroneous. So this is a 1300 foot a second load, and with this pistol, with these primers, too hot for that powder. Okay, this is 185 grain Rainier hollow points at 9.2 grains of Bullseye. So 185 Rainier, 9.2 grains of Bullseye. And again, what is safe in this pistol may not be safe in another, and this is also what this particular powder is doing based off of where it's been stored at and based off of this particular handgun. Definitely high pressure, plus P, loading based off of the brass. The velocity was 447, so that's an erroneous reading. Let me try backing up and see if that gives us a better read. Woo! Hot, 1328. 724 foot-pounds. So at this point in time, I would tell you I would probably use this as a 45 super load This pistol is soaking it up fairly well, but it is, I can tell the slide velocity is pretty high because it's slinging the brass about 10 feet away. So this is a little bit hotter than what I would generally run for just a normal plus P load. This would fall into a 45 super loading almost, in my opinion. I feel comfortable with the pistol being able to soak it up. This Rock Island, their high capacities are really built tough, so I'm going to go ahead and proceed. No concerns there, but this is a 700 foot-pound load, 10 millimeter equivalent. Yeah, 13-16 on the last round, 711 foot. $13.04, 698 foot-pounds. $13.06 for 700 foot-pounds. $12.99, 693 foot-pounds. $12.99, 693 foot-pounds. $13.08, 702 foot-pounds. That got a little bit of primer drag on that one, and that was $13.25. was the last shot. So there are all my primers. So here are all my primers. All of those are definitely high pressure. All of them are definitely. None of them pierced. That one right there really looks to be the only one that I see drag on. But you do have ringing, so you got some flow going on there. So I mean, hey, power pistol, this is definitely, or not power pistol, Bullseye, this is definitely high pressure loads. And then here's our velocities. So you can see that the first one we had was a bad read, so we had 8 rounds. And we can basically see that, you know, 1,300 feet a second is basically our average on this. All of them were, you know, right at 700 foot-pounds of energy. Last shot was 13.28. Let's kind of see what we ended up doing on paper. Kind of sort of spread out as far as what our pattern is, about the size of your hand. So again, I don't know that I would necessarily call that a target load. Then again, it's not like I'm exactly shooting for accuracy, like I said. But you know, the 9mm grouped a whole lot tighter. And that was the distance we're shooting from. I was shooting probably maybe 13 yards. Anyhow, that's what we got. Bullseye definitely will sling them, but you also can get into some pressure signs. So again, we'll take a little more look at our primers. Considering we were right at 700 foot-pounds, the primers really don't even look bad, but they're a little bit more than what I would, you know, comfortably would say is just a plus P load. So anyhow, that's what we got. Hope you found it interesting. Hope you found it useful.